Hey, all. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Fernie, and I'm the pastor of Emerging Worship at First United Methodist Church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So, pastor of Emerging Worship means I get to oversee our contemporary service at our main campus, which is called the America Street Service. But I'm also the campus pastor at our Mid-City Church campus. So that's been a lot of fun. I've gotten to be a part of both of those communities, and I'm loving it. But the reason I am making this video is because it has become a tradition of mine to reshare a video that I posted about 5 years ago regarding Cinco de Mayo and what Cinco de Mayo is about and why we celebrate it. And so I've been getting a whole bunch of texts already. I've had people sharing that old video. I've had people texting me today saying Happy Independence Day and a whole bunch of stuff. And so I just wanted to spend this moment to clear some things up about Cinco de Mayo, why we celebrate it, and why today is a special day in the United States. So you can tell I have my Mexican soccer jersey on for two reasons. One, it's Cinco de Mayo, and yes, I'm going to eat Mexican food. Yes, I do wear this jersey. But I also miss sports, and I love soccer, and growing up, I always wanted to play soccer for the Mexican national team. So I'm wearing this jersey for that reason today. But just as I said earlier, I've had people text me that today is Mexican Independence Day, and the first thing I want to say is today is not Mexican Independence Day. I know it gets confused, and I really remember vividly, I was on a flight one time, and this lady looked at me, and she started talking about different holidays. And she said, I don't understand why we celebrate days like Cinco de Mayo. It's not our independence. Why should we celebrate it? And I think that's a lot of people have that mentality. So today is not Mexican Independence Day. Mexican Independence Day is on September 16th. So because of that, the other thing I want to clarify is in Mexico, you don't really see a lot of people celebrating today. There is, however, a region of Mexico that does celebrate. And this is in Puebla, Mexico, which is just outside of Mexico City, which is the capital of Mexico. So the reason for that is that Cinco de Mayo is actually the day we remember the Batalla de Puebla, the Battle of Puebla. And it was actually a very important battle. So let me give you some history context as to what is happening. So Mexico had been in a lot of wars up to that point. They had abolished slavery. They had been in the Mexican-American War. They had been fighting against France. All those things put Mexico in a very difficult financial situation. And because of that, the president at the time, Benito Juarez, decided to postpone all payments to foreign countries until they were able to get back on their feet financially. So Spain took that well. A couple other countries took that well, but France did not. France was not happy about it. So they decided they were going to come and attack Mexico and get their money back. And the Mexican forces decided that they would they would attack Puebla, which is, like I said, just south of the capital. They would attack there and then enter into Mexico City and take over the country. And this was going to be an easy battle for them, right? I mean, Mexico doesn't have the finances. They don't have a big army. This is the perfect target. And so France decides they're going to come and they do that. Well, another historical context for that is that at the same time, the U.S. was in the middle of the Civil War. And so you have the North fighting the South, right? The U.S. is in turmoil against one another. And France decides they're going to capitalize on this. So France's plan is to attack Mexico, take over Mexico, and then attack the U.S. from the South, possibly even join forces with the Confederates and overtake the United States. And this was a perfect master plan that they had to be able to take all this land back. So the French armies arrive in Puebla, they have a battle, and like I said, it wasn't supposed to be a fight, but Mexico, even though they had like 4,000 less soldiers, are able to defeat the French. And that battle did not end the war against the French, but it really did it really hurt the French armies, and it also boosted morale among the Mexican military. And that battle still stands as a reminder of when the French were stopped. Now, how does all this connect, and why is all that important? So we mentioned that France had a plan to attack Mexico, take over Mexico, and then move north and help the Confederate Army fight the Union. Well, because Mexico stopped the French in that fight, one of the things that happened on Cinco de Mayo was that the U.S. was protected by Mexico. These forces that were, it was about 6,000 troops that were planning on going all the way into southern United States. They were stopped in Puebla. And so for the United States, it's a big day to celebrate Cinco de Mayo because it's the day that the two countries worked together in military forces, right? That because Mexico stopped the French, the U.S. was safe. There's a lot of historians who believe that if Mexico had lost at Puebla on Cinco de Mayo, that if they had lost, that it's very possible that the U.S. would be very different today than when it actually is. The other reason Cinco de Mayo is so important is because this was the first time the American and Mexican leadership began working together. So Abraham Lincoln was president in the United States and Benito Juarez was president in Mexico. And it was the first time that the two countries started working together. It was actually really important for Abraham Lincoln to have a good working relationship with Mexico. And so it's fascinating. That relationship happened because of the Batalla de Puebla and how Mexico stopped the forces, the French forces, and then also warned Abraham Lincoln about the French wanting to come and invade. So I love it. I love that story. I love to share it because that's what we celebrate on Cinco de Mayo. It really is an American holiday in many ways because we celebrate the fact that our two countries worked together and that the fate of the U.S. ended up the way it did today because Mexico stopped the forces on that day. So as you celebrate Cinco de Mayo today, like I said earlier, I'm going to eat Mexican food today. I'm going to wear my Mexican soccer jersey today. But I'm also going to remember today that this is a day when we celebrate our two countries working together and how in the midst of so much division that I see out in the world, it's when we work together that the kingdom of God begins to unite and some amazing things begin to happen. And so today, as you celebrate, I want to challenge you. I want to encourage you. How can, the people you have traditionally seen as your enemies, the people who you've traditionally seen as the other, when we work together, some beautiful things can happen that affect not just us today, but affects the future. And just as these two governments, you have to think about, they were at war in many ways. The U.S. had just we had just fought the Mexican-American War, and the U.S. had taken a whole bunch of land from Mexico after that war, and yet they decided to put those differences aside and work together, and something beautiful came out of it. So on the Cinco de Mayo, I hope that you will spend some time to celebrate, but also to remember the true meaning of it. And the last thing I want to share. So if you go to Mexico City, there is a statue of Abraham Lincoln there. And if you go to Washington, D.C., there is a statue of Benito Juarez there. These two presidents at the time, there are statues of them in their the other country. So Mexico has a statue of Abe Lincoln, and the U.S. has a statue of Benito Juarez, and that's in part to commemorate the relationship that was built that day. So today on the Cinco de Mayo, I hope you get a time to celebrate and remember how our two countries have worked together, and that may give us an example of what it looks like when the body of God works together, even when we disagree, even when we don't like each other, even when we have opposing views, that when we work together, some beautiful things can happen. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a great Cinco de Mayo, and I hope you have I hope that you can encounter God in your day today. Have a great day, and thank you for listening. Bye. God bless.